Hello, we are back again today on this fine Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. And you're going to celebrate with us at B.O.P Houston Rockets podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Coach Dante. What's up, Dante?
Hey man, what's good, man? Like I say, man, it's a blessing to be up here talking about our Rockets, talk about the state of the Rockets, where we could be in the future, and what we're doing now. So, honor to be up here with you, bro. Talk Rockets with you, man. Like I say, we got plenty more to come up during the season, and obviously, just can't wait, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Today, guys, we're going to talk about last night's game against the Mavs and our fine execution down the fourth quarter, as
Yep.
well as we're going to compare to how we were last season and go through that as to where we are right now on December 24th. And then we'll do a tankathon spin. So let's get started. For my notes for the first quarter, all I had was fouls. I mean, we were fouling left and right. It was atrocious. I felt like the refs had money on that game. I was posting on Twitter that it seemed like we couldn't get a bucket there for a stretch too. For a while there, beginning I
Yep.
think the first 7 minutes of the game, we were back and forth, back and forth. In fact, I think we were leading the Mavs at one point, 12-6, and
Yep.
then it started to switch once Lucas started getting his fouls. Tim Hardaway started getting his fouls. I mean, McKinley was getting his fouls.
Yep.
But we were running a lot of actions. It felt like we were at least in our game. We were listening to coaching. We were doing what we were told, despite the turnovers, despite the fouls.
Yep.
It felt good, and KJ was hustling. Those are kind of my highlights of the first quarter there. I loved KJ's hustle.
Yep. Like first quarter, we started off kind of good, man. Like I say, like you said, 20. We went on a 6-12 run, but then once again they started getting every call in that first quarter. So we was I believe within the first 3 minutes of the first quarter, we was already in the penalty pretty much. So already in the penalty pretty much. Then the way we ended the first quarter, it looked like the way we ended the first quarter looked like this is going to be a bad night. We're going to get kind of blown out. We scored in 3 minutes. We only scored one basket. We only scored 1 point in 3 minutes. 1 point that was at the free throw line by Jalen Green when he went 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So we struggled in the in the first quarter. Then the second quarter, you can see Luka starting to come in to his own. He started, and that dude is a tough guy to stop. He made some tough, difficult shots last night. Like I say again, when you're playing a guy like that, man, it's tough to stop this guy where he can shoot, he can post up, he can just do everything. And that's somebody that's been playing basketball, playing against grown men since he was 15 years old. So we got to take that in consideration. This is nothing really new to him. But at the end of the day, like I say, we come out in the third quarter and Dallas immediately goes 1 for 9 from the field, and we're starting to make shots. And I love Jabari Smith had a hell of a night last night, man. He was killing it. You saw the confidence. You saw him
Pull ups, I loved
pull
it.
up, yeah, that we've been talking about. You saw him being in the post, shooting over smaller defenders. I really liked it. Really liked the way he played, especially at the end of the game. KJ Martin looked good in the starting lineup. Looked actually good. Hit a couple of threes last night. One from the top of the key, shot a confident shot in the corner, hustled. I like the way they got on the floor in that 1st quarter. Hustle, wanted the ball, ended up with a dunk. Like the team, I'm not mad at the loss last night. It's nothing to be frustrated about it. The team fought hard against a team in the West, like you brought it up in the group chat and all of that. And just the last minute of the ball game, we had an issue. We had an offensive foul. We had a turnover when KJ Martin lost the ball. We had stopped Dallas on multiple possessions. 108 to 106. We stopped them on multiple possessions. Against a team like that, you got to capitalize. You cannot get 3 stops in a row and don't capitalize on neither one of them. KPJ gets a charge called on him, and then the very next possession, KJ Martin loses the basketball, and he had an open dunk on that one. He loses the basketball. It was the play. Tyrese had the ball on a fast break. KJ Martin wide open for a dunk. He didn't get the ball to him. He got fouled up on that play. So it was a little bit bad execution on those lack of 3 plays, but other than that, nothing you can do. Luka just is a great player, man. You just gotta shake his hand, man. He just was unstoppable. And then you thought he would get rest in the fourth quarter. Didn't sit out in the fourth quarter. That was another difference maker. That showed you they don't really have anybody that can trust off of the bench to put Luka on the bench. So that tells you a lot about what the Dallas team is without Luka. They're a pretty suspect basketball team, but I really like the way we fought hard against a Western Conference foe. Remember, we beat them in Dallas, and Christian Wood was a Christian Wood didn't score, but that rebound kind of hurt it. They gave them an opportunity for
Yeah.
Luka to make that shot. So otherwise, man, like I said, I'm not upset. Just a few mistakes we didn't execute on.
I did like we had an inbounds play, or the Mavs had an inbounds play, which turned into a turnover because Luka didn't actually come over from the inbounds. He never established himself. That was nice. And then that led to that nice turnover where KJ got a dunk within 40 seconds left off of the Luka turnover. And then immediately after that, Tari Eason blocks Tim Hardaway, and then Jalen Green hits a crazy, or he had a crazy 3-point open look, and he decided to brick it. It was deep. I do like his confidence. Something I do like about that is despite his shooting woes, going 0 for 4 from 3 tonight, he still remained confident, was still taking his shots. He didn't hesitate, except at the cup a couple of times. Other than that, he's sticking with it. It felt very nice. But by halftime, it was looking like it was really going to be down. We were 61-50, and my notes was all capitals, keep Luka out of the paint and crash the glass. I mean, they were getting everything. At the half, we only had 5 offensive rebounds. That was it, and we was playing 3 big men, and we got Tari Eason. I was very surprised, and KJ's usually a very good rebounder for us. But yeah, and then as well, Knicks had 9 minutes already in the half. He had 9 minutes. In those 9 minutes, he went 0 for 2 from the free throw. He went 1 for 2 from the field. And he had 2 turnovers, 0 assists. That was the whole thing we've been complaining about Deshaun is his consistency, right?
Yeah.
He's been and just him as a player, he's a solid playmaker. At the end of the day, he's good, but he's not a shooter. He can't score. He's bulky, he's big, he'll body up. I think if he was a defensive first guard, we would be talking about differently, but that's not the case here. He wants to shoot, he wants to score, he wants to show the team that he can be a productive force on the offensive end, and it's not working out for him. But that's all we've been clamoring for as a team, as fans, just consistently telling them that I like you, as a person. It's not like Lakers fans treating Russ, going on him disrespectfully. It's just just stay in the G League, just do your thing out there, or you can go be like Eric Bledsoe, go China and drop 51, 18, and 9 out of nowhere. It just do what makes you feel comfortable, but it's not working here, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not working. But Daishen Nix, and then he has no athleticism really. He has really no athleticism. That's another thing. And again, I mean, the guy can't score. He can't score. He can't shoot from the outside. He can't shoot free throws. He can rarely shoot free throws. I saw that in the summer league. I was disappointed in him in the summer league. I know you don't take summer league into consideration, but that's your opportunity, to get better at something. You're playing against guys who's trying to get into the league. You're playing against rookies that's trying to make an NBA roster, and you struggle in the summer league scoring the basketball. I know he came on late the last couple of games against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He did something very well, but that's an indictment on him because he already played last year. He played last year. He got a lot of burn last year at the beginning, the middle of last year, at the end of very disappointed the way he played in summer league. So I did see a little bit of glimpses of the struggles in summer league. He's unathletic. He doesn't have the blow by speed. So in this league, you got to have some blow by speed. You got to be able to get past people, break down the defense. He can't do that. And it's not going to help if your jump shot is not falling. I'll say again, like you said, he's not a bad person. It's just, we think Josh Christopher and Tata Washington is better. And it's good to see Tata Washington play last night, even though he kind of struggled a little bit, but that's most of the time. He didn't have the ball in his hands most of the time. Yep. Josh Christopher had the ball in his hands when the lineup Tata Washington was out there, when Jalen Green was out there with him. Tata didn't really have the ball in his hands, but that floater was a decent floater off of the glass, tough shot, using his body. Yeah. That's a good move. But again, Daishen Nix, like I say, I don't think he should be playing over Tata Washington. I think he needs to go back to the G League. And Garrison Matthews, first play coming off the bench, he shoots a 3 like he was Steph Curry, and immediately he was taken out of the game. Like I say, he shouldn't be playing basketball for the Houston Rockets. He should not be out there playing.
Absolutely not, especially when you just hopping out the gates expecting you to go crazy like that. I'm not sure how many shots Gary Bird took last night. Yeah, 0 for 1. He played 12 minutes, 0 for 1 when tried to take that Steph Curry type shot. I believe he was a minus 16 in his 12 minutes of run there. Overall, our bench also did not, was pretty poor. Other than the stats itself, Nix was minus 14, Ruba was minus 7, Matthews was minus 16, even Tari Eason was minus 15, despite Tari Eason really trying to come out and help us out. He was just really playing with the bench, and that's kind of what really messed that up. We also had Bruno play some minutes for the first time a little bit, other than his little 3-minute stint. He played 8 minutes, and in those 8 minutes, he was minus 11, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, 2 points. I just didn't understand really the idea of bringing in Bruno to begin with in the offseason. I understand it was a nice little trade piece. I understand if maybe we wanted to just kind of have him as like a backup, like Boban, play him once every 10 games. But we started in the beginning of the season, then he got injured. We had Şengün start. Thank you. And, Bruno's just not been the same since injury. I'd like to see him, off on a different team. Not to, be that guy, but I'd like to see him somewhere else and hopefully benefit. I'd like to bring in a guy, say, like Moses Brown, like what he was doing. He had a 2020 game once, I believe, over in the Spurs. I really like what he's got going on over there. But yeah, overall, we got our butts kicked. We did have a couple highlight plays. We had that Jalen Green up and under acrobatic Kyrie-esque layup over McKinley Wright, I believe. That was crazy. He went from the left side of the basket to the right side in one swoop motion through that traffic. And we outscored them in the third quarter, 34-20, to end the quarter at 84-81. That felt good to kind of give us some life back a little bit, despite being down 11. And when we head into the fourth, and my first, like we talked about Gary, my first thought was, why is Gary playing ?
Yeah.
Like I said, love the guy. I do. I like the energy he brings, but, we just need to trade him for a bag of chips at this point.
We got a lot of people on this team that really shouldn't be on this team. We got some couple of guys like you mentioned, Bruno should not be playing for this team. He shouldn't. You gave him the contract. And you would think he will be getting some minutes. And Bruno is still kind of in his prime. He's still kind of young a little bit, but he doesn't fit the timeline on this team. Garrison Matthews, we got Eric Gordon, and you got Boban on the bench to sit up on the bench. I understand you got him for that veteran leadership. Yeah, you understand you got veteran leadership, but again, man, you stunning the growth of a lot of these players. You got Darius Days on the bench as well. Too, who's a young guy, who's a rookie, man. Like I say, and I like his outside shooting. Darius Days, that rookie out of LSU, is an outside shooter. Like I say, I'm not expecting him to get no burn anytime soon. He's just going to be on the bench, but it's a lot of guys that shouldn't be up on this basketball team and just out there, just sitting on the bench or just out there just to be out there. Eric Gordon, like we said the other day, man, you can't be out there and underperforming. We're trying to obviously get trade value for him, but you can't be out there underperforming and going 4 for 11 from the 3-point line and just shooting up shots and not being inconsistent. And when he does pass the ball, he throws it out of bounds. Eric Gordon is not a passer. He's a scorer. He's coming off the bench. He's trying to light it up right then and there. But again, like I say, kind of upsetting the way we lost the game. But then again, you did get some positives, a lot of positives last night that we can come through, knowing we can compete with a championship contending team at this point, and we beat the Milwaukee Bucks, and that shows you in the future, gives you a glimpse of what this team can do. Actually, they can compete with good teams.
If you want to do it by some rules, we beat Phoenix, and we beat Milwaukee, right?
Yep,
they were both in the finals, so that says anything to anybody. We can win, we really can.
Yep.
But our record of 9. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Even last night, where we were 1-12, 106, it only started to really get away with us within the last 3 minutes of the game. I believe it was 101, 108, 106 there. Bari pulled up for that midi at the last minute and 40 seconds left. So he comes in clutch and puts it into a 2-point game. And then we have the turnover, and then we have our lovely setback after the offensive foul on KJ, and that clutch rebound by Christian Wood, which is something that I guess
that hurt. That hurt us.
And then Luka decided to hit that deep, almost logo 3.3 for 50 points. That's his second career 50-point game. of course it's against us.
I mean, it wasn't bad, and it wasn't a bad contest by Jabari too. It wasn't a
it
bad
was
contest. I mean, just Luca being able to shoot that step back and create space when you think you got a good hand in his face. I mean, it's just tough to deal with, man. That's just actually tough to stop, man. It's one that we can do about that last night. And Luca, how many times he went to the basket and shot one-legged shots off of the glass? That is really hard to do, man. So I just give that man credit, man. That man is just a great player, man. We was able to stop Giannis because Giannis is going to the paint. You're stacking up the paint. Your Giannis is not going to shoot from the outside. He's not a great shooter, but that right there, Luca being able to shoot that really that good, being able to penetrate, go to the basket, and just set up teammates too when you double them, and just being able to shoot one-legged shots off of the glass, and him being able to take the screen and keep a guy behind him and play that fundamental basketball. Like I said, he's been playing since he was like 15. He's been playing against grown men. So he knows how to actually operate. So again, this has been him since he was 15, playing against grown men. So this is nothing new, man. Like I said again, the 3-point about Jabari Smith to put us down, the mid-range put us down too, actually, like you said. And I say those two turnovers kind of hurt. The charge kind of hurt. We had a
yeah.
4-on-1 fast break, and we didn't get. Kevin Porter just bumps right into Tim Hardaway Jr. and the ref
Ooh,
also called it. Go ahead.
let me, yeah, okay, about that, right? Like he was getting to that ref call, man. It was almost 20 seconds
Yes,
after the foul
yes,
had occurred.
yes,
That
yes,
is the
yes.
latest foul
That,
call I've
that was
ever
a great
seen.
call. Yep,
That's
yep,
it, at that point, just play on.
yep.
Like I said in the beginning of the game, it really felt like the refs somewhat have money, to call back John Morant. Somewhat have money
Yep.
on the game. I mean, we was getting all these foul calls throughout the entire game.
Yep.
I don't recall the exact disparity. I'm gonna pull that up right now between free throw shooting. But I mean, yeah, they had 24 out of 27, and we had 28 free throws. But it didn't feel like we had 28 free throws.
It didn't feel like we got to the line that much. It didn't
Yeah,
really feel like we got to the line that much.
it didn't feel like we had to line out. Oh, we had 21 fouls. Today 20, and let's see here. They have 14 turnovers to our 14.
Yep.
That's what I don't get is we're we're equaling them out, but it just didn't feel like it in the game. It was the way that was happening. Out of pace, out of rhythm. And like at the point, it felt like Luka had 100 free throws, but he only had 12. I don't know. And Jalen Green had 12. To put it in comparison, differences is one had 20 and the other had 50.
Yo, I mean, man, like I say again, hey, the ref call. I was like, when I was live streaming that and people was in the chat going crazy about that, man, he caught that 30 seconds ago, literally after the foul. And I hate one of those fouls when a person is passing the ball and you bump into them, and you just bump into them and they just get the call on the pass off. But again, like I say, 4-on-1 fast breaks, you got to kind of execute that. But then again, you coming down the court after you stopped them the last time, and the same score, KJ Martin wide open, looking at the basket before he caught the ball, losing it right up out of bounds. That killed us. And then the next minute, we do get another stop, and Christian Wood gets a rebound. Christian Wood gets the rebound and sets up Luka for the wide open three, which is we did double him on that play. They whipped it to the corner, and Luka ends up getting it back wide open, and Jabari Smith was a little bit late up on the jump shot. So again, at the end of the day, man, hey man, the refs played a part in it. We didn't get the calls going our way. They got the calls going their way. But at the end of the day, I mean, 2 possessions that we didn't capitalize on that we should have capitalized on against a team like the Dallas Mavericks. When you're stopping them multiple times, you gotta capitalize. And Spencer Dinwiddie and Tim Hardaway didn't even play great. They didn't even really play great.
0 for 7 from the 3.
Bertans killed us. Bertans killed us last night from the 3 as well.
Yeah. I see. That Mavs team reminds me of like a light version of the 2018 Rockets, right?
Yeah.
Like where it's just James Harden, and even though Chris Paul is on there, but it was definitely just James Harden and then shooters. That's how it is. You want your best player to be able to drive and shoot the basketball, but put shooters and rebounders all around them, and that's how you win. And I mean, that's what worked here. We saw it happen, unfold. We are understanding of how that's supposed to go, but at the end of the day, It kind of is what it is. I do want to commend Wood. I understand the way that we traded him and left. Not a big fan, but I respect his game. He had 4 blocks this game
Yeah.
against us. 4. The last time we played the Mavs, we had the second most blocks in Houston history.
We
By
had
the
about
way,
15. How many blocks? 15
yeah,
block
15,
shots.
17. We had a
Yeah.
lot of block shots, man.
Yep.
It was insane. I mean, even Jalen Green had 3 blocks that game. But yeah, I know. But then we got, I don't know, it was pretty tough, crushing defeat, turnover after turnover, and foul after foul in the end of the game there.
Yeah.
But on to some positives, I did like to see KJ start. I think that was a very big breath of fresh air. It didn't feel like it, or it didn't look like it, but it felt like our rebounding is better. It felt like we were a little bit more cohesive there. Now, at the end of the day, he did sell on those last 2 possessions. I understand that, but it was nice to see him do that versus Eric Gordon make an errant pass out of bounds to nobody. I would rather had KJ lose the ball or foul somebody offensively than Eric Gordon dribble, step back, brick, or dribble, throw the pass to nobody. I'm fine with that. But so KJ started and he had 10 points, 3 boards, and 3 steals, but he only took 7 shots, which is kind of concerning to me. I think all of your starters should at least minimum take 10 shots. Right?
Yeah.
Like everyone needs at least 10 shots. Jalen Green, like I said, I don't really care how many shots he takes as long as he hits his 25. I don't care. He just needs to take his shots. Bari is who I think is our B.O.P player of the game.
Player of the game. That's right.
Yeah. 24 points was his career high and 10 rebounds on almost 60% shooting. That felt really nice. I think he went 3 for 7
is a great
from 3.
passer. You saw the way he was passing that ball yesterday, man, last night. I mean, that really impressed. The pass to Sengun. Looked like a quarter. He looked like a quarterback out there. He made 2 passes to Sengun for easy layup. So give credit to Jabari, man. And he tried to guard Luka the best way he could. Luka's just a great player, man, and just a tough player to guard. So and the rebounding for him to be so small, but him being 6'10", able to his height able to be versatile too as well. So give him credit, man. Like you said, and the passing. What got me last night, he passed the ball very well. He's a very good passer.
Yeah, that's kind of an unsurprising or a surprising and unexpected skill trait from him. Especially I think his build was just supposed to be a KD shooter. Like that was his whole thing. But here he is dribbling the ball pretty efficiently. He's doing these midi pull-ups that we saw rookie KD doing all the time, and it's going in. It felt really nice, felt really smooth. And then Sengun, speaking of, he had almost a triple-double, 19 points, 8 boards, and 7 assists in only 26 and a half minutes played, which surprised me. But then the first half, Bari had 3 fouls, KPJ had 3 fouls, Sengun had 2 or 3 fouls. At the end of the day, it just really came to fouls that kind of dictated our minutes. Then Jalen Green, he had 23 points. I believe he had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and he shot 6 or 17 from the field, which was 35%. That's kind of poor, but I want him taking 17, 18 shots. I don't care if they're going in. He needs the shots. He's a superstar. They will fall eventually. But his shooting slump does continue. 0 for 4 from 3. I don't know what's going on, whether it's he's just kind of I know he did take 2 unbalanced threes there that kind of had to bail us out. So I do get that. But the shooting slump overall in December, I mean, he's been shooting, I think, around like 19 to 22% from 3. And those are Russell Westbrook numbers. We do not want that. We want you out here shooting the dang ball and making it. But that's what's going on. And then KPJ to finish it off here at 14 points and 4 assists, 5 for 13 from the field. And he went 1 for 7 from the 3. So when your backcourt is combining 1 for 11, that's kind of where we lost. It had Jalen Green and KPJ made 2 more threes combined. We're probably talking about a different ballgame here.
Most of those shots that Kevin Porter was taking, they were wide open. Like he had a wide open 3 kind of on the wing area. He kind of missed. But he was kind of limited last night. He was kind of limited last night because of the fouls. He had 3 fouls in the first quarter alone. So again, he was kind of limited. And then when he did play, he wasn't effective at all. He had 14 points. He had a tough drive to the basket. He had a big N1 to put us up 180 to 81 to 80. So they got the guard play has to be good. The guard play has to be good. They have to be more consistent on the floor for us to win games. So We didn't. The guard play didn't play too well, but I'm okay with Jalen Green as long as he being aggressive. As long as
Mhm.
Jalen Green kind of being aggressive, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him missing shots. But like I said, some night they're not gonna be missed all the time and every single night. So um, I say you hit the nail right up on the head. You hit the nail pretty much right up on the head.
Facts. Yeah, I something I did like was Jalen Green's hustle through the first two
Mm-hmm.
quarters. I mean, him and Luca were going back and forth. And then right before Bari got yanked because the fouls he was drawing on Luca, he was guarding Luca pretty well.
Yep.
We were roughing him up a little bit, getting him out of rhythm, and we were playing at our pace. And the thing about the Mavs is if you can dictate the pace,
Yep.
dictate how quickly you're going, you'll win because the Mavs are a very slow and methodical team. Luka likes
Yep.
to play that old man Larry Bird kind of game. Everyone compares him to that, that Dirk stuff, very slow, and he takes his time and makes sure that gets the most efficient shot. But if we hustle on them, we stay in on them, we play an aggressive defense, that's how we'll win. Unfortunately, that wasn't the
Yep.
case there. So hopefully Houston will watch some film and make sure they understand what they need to be doing.
Yep.
But it at the end of the day, this felt like a moral victory despite that loss. It felt like we were really able to hustle them in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we were down, we were still fighting. We weren't giving up. This wasn't
Yep.
a 30-point blowout because it felt like it almost getting ready to go into
Yeah,
the second quarter there.
it felt like it was gonna get up out of hand when you look. It felt like it kind of felt like it was gonna get up out of hand. Like in the first quarter, the way we ended the first quarter, we only scored 1 point in 3 minutes to end the first quarter, and
Mm-hmm.
in the second quarter, it looked like it was getting up out of hand because that's when Dallas found the rhythm at the 3 point line and everything. So again, and we have to be one of the worst teams in the league and guarding the 3 point ball. We cannot
Yes.
guard the 3 point ball to save our life. Too many easy, wide open threes. Perimeter defense is not as good, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm kind of proud with the performance. We, like you said, we didn't quit. We stuck with them. We was able to go through some adversity. We came back actually outscored somebody in the third quarter. Just have to be against Dallas because they're struggling as a whole. But again, it was some good signs last night, and we just hope we can continue that going into Chicago.
Yeah, they shot 16 for 44 from the three,
Yeah,
comparative to our 8 of 26. So that tells you the disparity
yeah,
right there. I mean, like I said, had we made 2 or 3 more threes, and we're talking about a completely different ball game here. But
yeah,
the three ball has really been the death of us lately. Even players like John Morant wants to get in a groove against us, despite us also holding the Houston killer Tim Hardaway to 0 for
oh
7 from
yeah,
three. They still were going crazy. Luka shot 6 for 12 from the three there, which I was not a fan to see. Bertans only made 2 threes, but it was the fact that he was taking them that spread us out. And then
yeah,
Spencer Dinwiddie with 3 for 8 from the three ball. That
three
did
for eight,
surprise
yeah,
me a little bit there. When I think of him, I think of like a more of a slashing guard.
yep,
But I mean, he was able to get out, get rhythm, and go. Christian Wood also, just because we got to talk about him, 1 for 3 from three. He did have three free throws there, which it's kind of expected. He only had 5 rebounds and 4 blocks total, but it
yep.
was those last couple rebounds that really decided the game there. It's funny because on NBA they don't list him getting that offensive rebound to give it to Luka,
Yep,
but he definitely got that rebound and gave it
yep.
to Luka. Um, but yeah, and I want to give credit to Dwight Powell. Actually, he
Yep,
did, despite him baptizing Luca, he did, or baptizing our boy Shengun. He he had a solid game. I really like what the Mavs have going on over there.
yep,
I'm not a Luca truther like a lot of people, but he is one of the best top 5 players in the league easily, and it
yep.
is nice to see at least one Houston team performing.
Yeah. I think Dallas. I think they're one more piece away. They're one more
Hmm.
piece away from probably being in that championship mode. I think this team is a little worse than last year. They're not actually. They got guys hurt. Finney Smith was hurt for them last night. Who's in the starting rotation? Josh Green, their young stud coming up. He's very young as well. So they got some guys out. Phil Pinson did a good job last night and filling
Yeah.
in for them. He came off the bench and immediately hit a couple of threes. If it's a night that you want to get off a struggle, or if you're struggle, you want to play the Rockets. If it's a night that you want to kind of get off of a struggling pace and a shooting pace, it will be a good night for you when you're playing the Rockets. But other than that, I think Dallas is one more star away. I think they're one more star away from helping out Luka. When Luka is out, Dallas struggled to score points. We seen that the first time we played them, they couldn't shoot, they couldn't score at all, and we
No
was able
shot
to,
creation.
no shot creation at all, no playmaking ability from anybody. And when Luka's on the floor, you see kind of the big difference of what this team can be. But I still think they need one more star to comprehend Luka, and to give Luka some rest, and give him some a little bit of time off of the ball.
Yeah, just again, comparative to the James Harden kind of thing is, we'd run James Harden to the ground, putting up almost 35, 36, 38 minutes a game so heavily, and then once we got to the playoffs, I mean, yeah, he's still putting up 30, but it's not an explosive 30. It's a quiet 30, And in order for us to win a playoff series, I mean, like we'd always beat the Jazz. That was fine. That was our bread and butter, kind of getting into the groove. But I mean, even Eric Gordon would be streaky, shooting 3 for 20 sometimes, and our infamous, 27 missed threes. I mean, it's
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, Luka just needs one more guy. I think if he got some sort of small forward, kind of like a Jeremy Grant type guy, I think they're in contention. Right there. I'd like to see something like that, or even if he had like a Sadiq Bey, I think they'd be looking better. Not necessarily a championship contention, but they'd be better in the seeding right now. But I guess we'll move on from there. Enough griping about the game. We're going to compare how we were last year to this year in terms of record. So last year in October, we started out 1-5. We all remember that. Comparative to this year, we started out 1-7 in October. It's not too good.
Two games worth.
Yep. And then in November last year, we remember our 11-game losing streak. It was a fantastic month for us, and then we won 3 games in a row.
Did John Wall, like I say, John Wall didn't? Well, I forgot he didn't play at all.
Okay? Yep. That was the 20-game losing streak you're referring to. 2 years ago.
When he came back, we finally won a game when he actually did come back.
Yep. So we went 3-11 last year in November, and this year we went 4-9. So that felt good. That's nice.
Pretty good. It's improvement. Okay.
And then 6-7 last year in December, up to the 23rd, and then we're 4-7 on a 5-game slide right now. For this year. So our final record for this year is 9-23. We're 6-10 at home and 3-13 on the road. Kind of expected, we performed better at home with our 5-game winning streak there, but we got to pick it up a little bit everywhere else. Comparatively to last year, we were 7-7 this way at home and 3-16 away. So we've won more games last year, 10-23. We played one more game, won one more game to this year. So from record wise, it looks like we haven't moved the needle.
So we showing progress, and we are we are improving. That's good. I kind of knew that. I kind of guessed that we were better at this point. At this point right now, as in the month of December.
We lost. It was 10-23 last year. It's 9-23 this year. Yes.
So in December we were 10-23.
Yeah, total. Our overall record right now. Oh, okay. Last year,
so we won win under. We actually won a win under.
Yep. Yep. December was 6-7 last year. This year it's 4-7.
Okay.
So we've and it's only up to the 23rd. So I understand that we still got some more games to play, but I mean at least we were closer to more of a 500 kind of thing. Out in December. But I mean 4-7, on a 5-game slide. And like our losses haven't exactly been great either this year. We're losing to some games we should really win, San Antonio.
We lost twice the same way against them in the third quarter, the same way we lost twice.
Yep. And they didn't even have Keldon Johnson
for a second time. Yes. Yep.
I'm pulling it up there where our 5-game slide. But yeah, it's just kind of disheartening to see how horrible we've been, to this point. Like we want to see growth. Like I always do say, numbers do lie. It doesn't show how much we have grown. Like, Şengün has really been playing well. I do like with Jabari. We haven't, obviously we don't have John Wall. Obviously we don't have any of our old guys like DJ Augustine, who I wasn't really a big fan of anyway. But, just at the end of the day, we should really be doing better than where we're at.
Yep. Again, I was thinking about that season that Christian Wood went out. And you remember we was in the 8th spot. We was in the 8th spot. 11-11. Christian Wood goes out in the Memphis game, and we lose 20 straight when he goes out, and we was building momentum. That was the night we blew out Memphis. We straight blew out Memphis, and the next day, We lose to San Antonio. That's what started the losing streak. We lose to them in a heartbreaking fashion. But
Mm-hmm.
we lost the Portland game. I want to say
By 12.
this year by 12. We didn't have I don't think we was out of it in the third quarter. We didn't have an opportunity to win that game.
Mm-mm.
Gotta give credit to Dame and Anthony Simons is a stud, man. That dude is really, really good. That young guard is really, really good. You see why they got rid of CJ, but CJ is good over there in New Orleans. He's great
Almost
over
a
there in New
40-point
Orleans.
triple-double, man. That looked really nice. That looked really
Yeah,
nice.
he was great over there in New Orleans. Orlando, we definitely should have won that game.
Yo,
They got back in the game in the third quarter when we were up by 15 in the third quarter.
we
So
let him come back.
we let them come back because of the zone defense. When teams get in the zone defense, we just the ball just everything just stopped. A pin drop, you can just see a pin drop go down. And
Mm-hmm.
then last night we had multiple opportunities to steal this game. So
Wow.
uh, we should at least have 12 wins at this point right now. At least 12 wins.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
I mean, we only lost to the Heat by 3.
three. Yep.
Portland, we lost by 12. We had that blowout loss to the Spurs, like you said. It was
Uh-huh.
124-105, so 19-point loss. And then again, like it's those 6-point losses, 6
Yep.
points to the Magic, 6 points to the Mavs, and then again earlier to the Heat, just 3-point loss. We really could have won all of those games,
Yep.
had we been shooting more effectively and passing the rock a little bit more. But 4 of those 5 games, we had Eric Gordon starting, and like
Yep.
the thing I want to criticize going back to the Magic game is we really threw Eric Gordon's 6'4" ass on Paolo, who was 6'11" and a dog. I'll never understand that. We got Jabari, like when I think like a marquee matchup, right? Like you got LeBron, he wants to go out there and maybe not as much as his old age, but like he would go out there and he's guarding KD. He's out there guarding Steph. He's out there guarding Giannis, But it's like, oh no, Jabari, we know that you're our best defender. You're gonna sit over here on Wendell Carter, who's not gonna shoot the ball. But you, Gordon, we're gonna put you on Powell. It really doesn't make sense. I understand it comes down to rotations and all that again.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's really our coaching, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. At the end of the day, Steven Silas don't make the proper adjustments we need him to make. And at the end of the day, man, it's just I say, man, it's just disappointing to watch it each and every game, just to watch the rotations, how the rotations is played, man. You got guys on the court that clearly not really that good, not good. You got Daisha Nix 2 games in a row, not giving you no offensive production, not giving you anything. 2 games in a row, playing 12 minutes, playing 9 minutes, not giving you anything on the offensive side of the ball. While you got Tata Washington, who's clearly a better player, who's clearly a better shooter, who's clearly got more athleticism, who clearly can get inside the paint and make things happen. He just happened to struggle last night because, he don't get the opportunities that he deserves. We got Josh Christopher, who finally gets the opportunity. You heard it last night that that tells me his confidence was kind of down a little bit. They had to send him to the G League to get his confidence back up. He needs to be playing more. I think we stunting his growth a little bit. We're not giving him an opportunity. So you got guys on the team, that clearly need to be playing for somebody else, and you got Daisha Nix that need to be going down to the G League or playing for somebody else as well. And we got to try to get. I kind of want Eric Gordon to be gone. I think his days is behind him in Houston, especially those playoff days that we had him. I think, like I say, he deserves to be playing for a playoff team. Not saying Eric Gordon is bad because he's a really good basketball player, but for this team, he's holding some guys really back for what they want to do. Bruno, you give him the contract. He's not owning up to the contract. He's hurt all the time. Or you're either not playing him. Now, I don't mind keeping Boba on because you're not going to play him. You're not going to play him anyway, unless it's at the end of the game. And you get some older leadership in the locker room, and players. Tyree Eason loves him. Tyree Eason loves Boba. He loves him to death. So at the end of the day, Jayshawn Tate, I wouldn't be upset if we get rid of him.
Yes.
I think KJ Martin is a better player. I actually think KJ Martin is a better player than Jayshawn Tate. I wouldn't be mad at. Yeah, I would listen to phone calls. To be honest, if I'm Raphael Stone, I'm listening to phone calls on Jayshawn Tate. Just on being all honest, I'm listening to phone calls.
Absolutely. Something that kind of surprised me is that, we used to start Jayshawn Tate over KJ Martin, in the starting lineup last year. And then, it was expected that Jayshawn would start over Bari at some point, when he was healthy and all that. And, I do like Jayshawn. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's a fantastic. Honestly, I would like to see him play a more point guard forward role, be your
I think
small
he can do
forward
it. I think he can do it. I agree. I think he can do it. He did it last year. He showed signs. He did it last year.
He's a very smart player, but it's just we have too many pieces that we're trying to develop at once right
Yeah.
now as it is. And if maybe we can move him to a team that doesn't have something like that, like maybe more of like an OKC type, or
Mhm.
like even the Wizards, having Jayshawn Tate off the bench would probably help them a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think maybe packaging him, Gordon, and like that Milwaukee first round pick to kind of get more of a mid first round pick and like
Yeah.
maybe a second, something along those lines. So
Yeah.
we can get something a little bit better, a little bit nicer. But yeah, I agree. I would like to see Jayshawn go, and we need to extend KJ. I'm surprised
Yeah.
we haven't yet.
Yeah, I think we need to kind of stand it. We can clearly see now KJ is he's happy. He's happy. He's motivated to be in the starting lineup. He's showing us right now. He's been really good. He's been really good this year. You gotta give credit where credit due. Jayshawn Tate he came back one game. One game, he was already in foul trouble, and he all of a sudden gets hurt. But I heard he's working his way back. But other than that, he's a little older. He's 25. He's about 25 years old, 26. One of that. I think, like I say, if I'm Raphael Stone, if a phone call comes up and says, "Hey, you interested in trade Jayshawn Tate?" I'm interested.
Yes.
I will consider doing it. I will actually consider doing it. Depends on what they want to offer for Jayshawn Tate. I don't think it will be a first round pick for him, but I think it can be probably a early second or mid second round pick. Now for Eric Gordon, go ahead.
Tate is 27, by the way.
Okay, 27. Someone up in there. But Eric Gordon, I think you can get a late first round pick. I think you get a late first round pick around 27, 28. I wouldn't be mad. I think you get a late first round pick for Eric Gordon.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, Gordon would be a fantastic player. I mean, Lakers, I know y'all need him right now. Just let us know, and we'll take that sweet 2027 off your hands.
Yeah,
You can
we'll
help
do
us
it.
out.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, go get it from the Sixers. They
Yep.
want every
Yeah.
Rockets guy. They got PJ Tucker, who's making 30 million, who's making 30-something mil. Hey,
Daniel
PJ
House.
Tucker, Daniel House,
Montrezl Harrell. I mean,
yep.
let's get the band back together.
Yeah,
Come on, Philly.
2017. Get it all back together. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be nice to see Gordon and Harden unite, because like, I mean, with Harden on there, he got Gordon 6th man of the year. With Harden, he was able to help Gordon average almost 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was averaging 20 and 22 on the Clippers, of course, but that was with his dad. And then he comes over to Houston, and like the efficiency is different. He's a near 40-point 3-point shooter, or 40% 3-point shooter. It's just different now.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying, like, it's not that I don't like Eric Gordon. I love him, and I want to do him right by sending him to a team where he can win a championship. I'd hate for him to go ringless like CP0 rings. I want him to like come out and like be somebody that won something, and it's gonna mean something to him because he deserves a chip. We should do right by him. And like you said, Tate, like you said by Tate, yeah, we should trade him. I did not realize he was 27.
I didn't. He was a 26. I believe he was a 26-year-old rookie. When we first got him.
25. Didn't we get him in
25?
Christian Wood and John Wall, right?
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, we got him with Christian Wood and John Wall. You remember when James Harden threw the ball at him at practice and stuff? Him and James Harden got into an altercation, and he came overseas. He'd been playing basketball for a while in overseas, so that's where we got him from.
Oh, it looks like Tate was undrafted.
Yep.
So yeah, that makes sense. And like, I mean, we got him playing a power forward role at 6'5", and it worked for PJ Tucker because PJ's so strong, and he's like very smart. He's a glue guy. But Tate, like, and I understand Tate's like younger, but I mean, at 27, at 6'5", I wouldn't want to develop you as more of a power forward role. You need to be playing as smart as you are, putting up 3 assists a game with 3 or 4 other ball dominant kind of guys that are getting the bubble for you. I'd say that's very efficient. We need to get you to a good place.
Yep. And then his ability, I think last year he shot 31% from downtown. Pretty much that's not going to really get it done if guys can play off you like that. So the shooting is kind of suspect for Jayshawn Tate. You need to be able to make those perimeter shots from the outside as well. So again, like if a phone call come up about Jayshawn Tate, again, I'm going to consider trading him. I'm going to probably pull a trigger. Depends on what it is. I'm going to pull a trigger and I'm going to trade him. I know you gave him the contract, gave him the 2-year contract, but I mean, it still can be worked around. And you got to just value KJ Martin is just a better player. He deserves to be in that starting rotation. And Tyree Eason will be the future. Him and Tyree Eason are the future small forwards for the Houston Rockets.
Yes, I agree. I'm glad we don't have KJ playing that center position anymore.
Yeah,
'Cause last year, having him come out play that power forward center position was just atrocious. I understand wanting to
yeah,
go small ball, but our guys are young. They can't be cohesive like that come out in the gate. But
yeah.
like you said, Tate, he did shoot 31.2% from
Okay,
three
okay.
last year.
Well, right.
So yeah,
Okay.
you was right. This year, in a very small sample size of 3 games, where he's averaging 8 points a game, he's putting up 40% from three
Okay, so he showed
off
some.
of 1.7 threes a game.
Okay, he's shooting 1 3.
Yeah,
So yeah, he's
yeah,
shooting 1 3. He ain't shooting much. Yeah,
yeah. So maybe if we can convince some team to take that off our hands, I would love that.
yeah,
Oh, that'd be really nice. But yeah, Tate, he's a really good guy. And like when I last year, I really did think that it would work out with Tate. I
yeah,
did, but we just have too many players that can't shoot on the team, and I
yeah,
don't think anyone's gonna want to take Bruno. Unless
yeah,
we can get for cash considerations. I don't think we're getting rid of him. So
yeah.
we got to get Tate going, and we're not getting rid of Shangoon.
No,
So
no, he's the future. He's future.
yeah,
He's
yep,
future.
yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. So there's too many people that can't shoot on the team as it is, and like we're already kind of suspect of Garuba. Last
yeah,
night he had, I think I counted 5 or 6 open shots from three,
yeah.
and he's like sits there
See,
frozen,
you see, you
takes
see,
two,
you
three
see what I
seconds.
see now
Yes,
on the court. What I was seeing the
yes,
other night. But and then you go back to the start of the year in Dallas. He was shooting those threes and knocking them down with confidence and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden he'll miss a couple of threes and struggle for a little bit, and then he decides he gets the ball. He doesn't want to shoot it anymore. So I'm starting to think, do that comes into play? I understand. I like his hustle on the defensive
yes.
side. Offensive glass, he's great. He's been awesome. He's been awesome. Before it's being on the floor on the offensive side of the ball, you kind of need that versatility the way this game is. You kind of need that versatility. You don't want to get to the point when you can't use them, on the floor. You
Yes.
don't want to get to that point where you have to take him out and now he's not even usable. I know he plays great defense. He's a great rebounder. He's great energized. He loves guarding, taking on a challenge with him and Jabari Smith, but you don't want to get to the
Yes.
point when you can't play him on the floor. And I think that's one thing that's a concerning to me. That's one thing as a concerning to me. I'm afraid that he's gonna be kind of unused. He's gonna be kind of unusable because of that outside shot and him being out there and guys being able to sag off of him and daring him to shoot and he doesn't want to take. And I'm afraid that it's a little bit concern. It's a concern, a lot of concern for me that he's gonna, as good as he is on the defensive side of the ball, and you need someone that can take a challenge and go out opposing team best player. You need that. You need that energy. You need that hustle. You need that rebounding. But you don't
Mhm.
want it to get to the point where you can't use them at all because of the offensive side of the ball. You don't want to get to that point.
Yeah, you don't want the ball getting too sticky, and
Yeah,
like it's one thing if he's like playing like a Draymond-esque role where he's like setting
yeah,
screens and picks it up and then drops it off and then running like these double screen sets. That's fine, that's different. But he gets to the perimeter and then he just sits there, like you said, he freezes for a couple seconds, taking some
yeah,
time off the shot clock, and then he passes it, which almost always turns into a turnover. On the season he's shooting 46.7% from three, but he's only taking half a three a game now. His
yeah,
3-point shooting has just absolutely dipped. But like you said, he's only playing about 15 minutes a game, and he's getting 2 offensive rebounds.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
averaging a total of 5 rebounds a game in 15 minutes. In a 30-minute stretch, that's double that.
yeah,
I'd like to see him get a little bit more run time, but he needs to be more aggressive.
yeah,
He's also only taking 2.5 shots a game.
yeah,
I understand that, he's a big, so it's kind of harder because he's a small big. I think he's only like 6'8".
yeah. He
He
reminds
needs
me of a power forward, a small forward type big. So a
yes,
small forward type big that can play on the perimeter. But in like I said again, he's too like that's a small forward position, 6'8" up and down. That's a small forward type of thing. But he's just happy to play power forward and play a little small ball center. So again, I'm just afraid that it's shooting is going to come into play. Shooting is going to have to really come into play and everything like that to what a point we can't use him. Like I say again, but I love his defense. At one point, it's kind of like you in between. You love his defense. You love what you can give you on the offensive side of the rebounding of the ball and the defensive side. But again, when he's on the floor and you're basically playing 5-on-4. Hey, it can get to the point where we can't use him because of
yep.
that.
Yeah, and I'd hate for it to get to that point. I just want him to be more confident. Like we talked about last time
Yep.
in that Eurobasket. I mean, boy was shooting step back threes and post fades. Not like what happened.
Yep.
I don't know where the confidence went between those games. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of maybe he's molding into the player he might have to be. He kind of reminds me of Derek Jones Jr. without the athleticism and
Yep.
the jumper. Because
Yep.
Derek Jones, at least in the corner, he'll take that.
Yep.
He'll shoot him. But I don't know. Garuba all of a sudden just I think maybe about 2 weeks ago he just stopped taking them, or he'd
Yep.
shoot
Yep.
one a game, and that was it. Because at one point he was shooting 80% from three.
He was lighting it up. He was actually shooting and making it.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. And I think he had a couple games where he shot like 1 for 3, 1 for 4, and then he just
Yep.
shoots 1 or 2 or 3 a game now. And even then, that's a rarity. And then we got, KPJ shooting 1 for 7 from 3 and Jalen Green 0 for 4. Big bro, don't worry. Don't worry about percentage, man. Just take it. At least make them. You got to make the D honest. Because if we can have more of a 4 or 5 out spread, because at the end of the day, we're going to have to play Garuba and Şengün at the same time. Yeah. We cannot do that because we know they're not sagging off Şengün, or they're going to sag off Şengün and shag off Garuba on the perimeter. And one of them will be down low. So that's fine. They're going to sit in the post. But then the other just sits there not doing anything with the ball at the top of the key.
Yep.
We cannot have two of those guys on the court at the same time.
Yep.
It's like trying to play Boban and Şengün together. Nothing's going on.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, a comparative we got off track a little bit. But comparative to last year, I would say that the eye test says that we play better than we do last year. We have more cohesion. We play more as a team. We're willing to pass more. I mean, almost everyone's assist rate has gone up. I mean, Jalen Green went from 2.6 assists to almost 4 assists a game now, and he was on that streak of like 5 or more assists for a couple games there, so that felt nice. But yeah, I would like to see us, do something different. Also, we are 4th in the league in total rebounding. I did not know that. It feels good that we're getting all these offensive and defensive boards, but we just have to, at the end of the day, it just comes down to making them.
Yep. I mean, like I said again, we are one of the best rebounding teams in the league. We improved that definitely from last year. When we had Christian Wood, when we just too small. Was too small last year. Now we are kind of a little bit bigger. We're still Jabari Smith 16 frame is a little bit better than Christian Wood. I can say he's gonna be a better defender than Christian Wood. Christian Wood as well, even though Christian Wood did have 4 blocks last night, he did hold his own in the paint. But at the end of the day, again, like I say, I agree. I definitely agree. We seem like we more better. We seem like we're communicating more. And just the turnovers are still the turnovers went down too. The turnovers is kind of okay. I'm okay with having 12 turnovers instead of 18, 17, 20. How many 20 turnover games or 18 turnover games last year what we were doing? That's a definitely improvement from last year. So we really don't turn the ball over that much. I like to stay around that 12 to 10 range turnover. We've been improving on that situation. The ball movement has gotten better, except when we play a zone defense, the ball's starting to stick, but we're starting getting better. We're starting to improve. We improved much as last year. I like the team much as last year. I like the young guys much. It's just you need to do a little. The only thing I'm having trouble with is the rotations. We need to do a better improvement on the rotation. What guys do you want? What guys do you need? We need to see out there. What guys should be out there? So Steven is up to Steven Silas and the coaching staff to adjust to that, which is they have not adjusted to that. They appear to like Daishen Nix a lot more than Tata Washington, as we've been really discussing. That's why Daishen Nix plays first and plays all the time over Tata. But it's good to see Tata out there. And I think Tata definitely needs to be playing over Daishen Nix. Daishen Nix is just not good for this team, and he's just not a fit for this squad and what we do. And just making a couple of rotation changes and just make a couple of moves and hopefully in the trade deadline like we were supposed to do last year. And we couldn't find anything we wanted for Eric Gordon. because
Yeah,
I
I think
believe we wanted to trade him. We just could not find what we want. It was a point that we was going to trade Christian Wood last year. The Rockets wanted a first round pick from the Lakers. The Lakers did not want to do that move and give them a first round pick. So other than that, trade, we got time to talk about the trade deadline, but I think for what's to come, I think that's what needs to be addressed. But other than that, like you said, I like everything about this team for right now compared to last year.
absolutely. It just feels different. The vibes are different. Vibes are better. Of course, we haven't gone on an 11 game slide, so
Yeah.
our hopes are a little bit up comparative to last year. But I mean, we're on a 5 game slide right now, so hopefully we can come out and catch a dub against our next game. I'm not sure who we're playing actually, but hopefully we can catch that dub on the 26th after Christmas.
Yeah.
And we play the Bulls. And the Bulls are 14 and 18. DeMar just hit a crazy shot last night, so
Yep.
maybe we could win. We could win.
Yep.
However, I wouldn't actually mind playing the Bulls. Tomorrow. Looking forward to that because we can rest a couple guys. I mean, I understand like we shouldn't be worrying about load management, but I mean we're starting to run Jalen Green into the ground a little bit now, and KPJ he's doing nothing, getting hurt and whacked and beat
Yep.
the last 4 or 5 games. So I'd rather have him just sit. Maybe we can sit both those guys, and then it won't look good, but let's start Ty and Dacian.
Yep.
You want to have that battle, right? Let's just get it out now, get it over with, because I hate to say it, but I'm just done with Dacian. I'm
Yeah,
over him.
I saw it in the summer league when he was struggling to put points on the board, and like I said again, he doesn't have good athleticism, and him being that thin, that type of big guard like that, and can't get past anybody, struggle to shoot free throws. I mean, Ty had a great summer league. He played great in the summer league. He actually played great. He was one of the guys that kind of stood out to me. Jabari Smith struggled in the summer league as well, but you started to see him come alive in the NBA against these professionals. But right now, again, man, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Dacian Nix. I thought I liked him. To be honest, I kind of liked the Dacian Nix last year. I kind of liked him, but when I seen in the summer league, it just didn't look good, man. It just didn't look good, and then I started to like Ty Washington coming out of college and seeing that. So I was kind of happy we got him in the draft.
Facts. No, I absolutely agree about that. I mean, at least our front office has done a good job.
Yeah. Yo, Mike.
Good.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on with this, man. It was working just fine. Our second pod, it's broken down like 4 times. Jesus. Anyway, yeah. I feel like, I think we've got a good bit of cohesion here. And like you said, Dacian Nix in the summer league has just been absolutely atrocious, and
Yeah.
Ty has been the opposite. And like I mean, Josh Christopher, I think it was around early March, late February when Josh started going crazy. He had like 3 or 4 20-point games, back
Yep.
to back around that. And I'm on the Josh train, right?
I am too. I still got faith in Josh Christopher. I still love Josh Christopher as a player. I still think he can do some things for us. It just matter of him. I don't know what's the dip from last year. If you're Steven Silas, you've seen him play. You've seen what he can do last year. He got meaningful minutes for you last year. What is going on? What is the difference of Josh Christopher from last year to this year? What is the difference? He showed you a lot last year, but what is the difference? What the hell is the difference this year? Why is he not playing on the floor? And I don't understand. Why is he not getting the minutes he's supposed to get this year?
He's earned it.
He's earned it. He's earned it
Yeah.
last year. He showed you what he could do. He showed you. He had some
Yeah.
20-point games. He improved his jump shot
Yeah.
as well. So why is he sitting on the bench? Why is he not playing? Why does it take you to get him down to the G League where he's much better than everybody in the G League anyway? That doesn't no good. Put him out there on the floor. He's a part of this future. You don't have to actually put him at point guard. You don't have to actually do it.
No.
Put him there, but you can actually put him as a combo 2 guard. You can put him as a combo 2 guard. See what you got. You know what you got in Josh Christopher. You know what you got.
Mm-hmm. I'd much rather take my chances at this point with Josh Christopher running point than ever letting Dacian Nix touch the ball again.
Yeah.
I mean, or for that matter, I mean Garrison Matthews. I mean, you want to play Garrison Matthews 12 minutes, but Josh Christopher 0. If anyone's going to the G League, it should be Dacian and Garrison. And
Yep.
and that's no disrespect to them, but Garrison, I need you to get your shot selection right, bro. Like we always be saying, you just come out there and the second you do is you just pop the ball. Oh man, I'm Gary Bird, bro. Just slow down. Let the game come to you. You don't need to be taking these off the dribble, step back, 3 blizzies. Just calm down, calm down. But I think that's going to almost wrap it up for us.
Yep.
I'm going to do, at the end of all of our shows, I'm doing a tankathon spin.
Okay.
So last time I ran a tankathon spin. Houston fell from 3rd to 4th in the ranking. So I'm going to give it a go. Yep. A 2, 3, 4, right? I'm going to give it a go, and hopefully the gods grace us. All right. So San Antonio moves up to the first spot. They move up 3 places. Yeah, that's a surprise there. And then Houston, we move up to 2.
Oh, okay.
That's nice. I like that. I like that. And then OKC 3, Washington 4, Detroit 5. So I like this. It feels a little bit better than the original us sliding down to 4. You know, I know we talked about like being an Anthony Black truther and Gigi Jackson and whatnot, but at number 2, I mean San Antonio's picking Wemby, so we got to go Scoot. So say we get
Scoot Henderson.
Yep, we got to go Scoot.
Yep.
Does that mean KPJ comes off the bench?
No. I think Scoop Henderson still does. I think Scoop Henderson does. I think KPJ, you know, the money that we gave him is pretty considerate that he's the cornerstone at point guard right now. So I think you put Scoop on the bench and you have him come off the bench. I think you have him come off the bench. That's what I think you do.
All right. Even as a second pick, you'd prefer him to come off the bench? Because personally, I would like to see start KPJ for a little bit, and then maybe reverse roles. See what KPG is like in that 6-man role. Because I know when we had John Wall, there was a couple games where we'd start Eric Gordon at the 2 and KPJ at 6-man, and he was producing, he was getting his good minutes, and he was playing more of that 2-guard role. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to try to run this 3, 4, 5, 6 glutton guard role we have going on. We end up choosing Scoot. Hopefully we just get the number 1 pick and it's Victor. You know, hopefully we don't have to think about it. You know.
Yeah, but like I say, Scoop Henderson will be good, but how would that feel to KPJ drafting another guard, just drafting another guard, and at number 2, and you just paid him. Yeah, he's gonna feel like, hey, Scoop Henderson is the future. Then at some point the Rockets are gonna move on from me soon because they drafted another point guard. Then you're thinking about Jalen Green and Scoop Henderson. So I rather if we was to be bad again this year and have the number 1 overall pick, you know, I would rather go with Wemby, or to stay up out of the guard scenario, because I think we're good at guard. I think we're too deep at guard. We got good guards. I have faith in our guards that we got. Power forward wouldn't be bad, or small forward wouldn't be bad.
So would you, if we got the 2nd pick, would you trade down?
I would consider because I like our guards. Our guards are really good. Our guards are really the best. Our guards is, you can arguably be probably is the best cornerstone guys on our team. Is the cornerstone guys on our team. If we don't get nothing up out of nothing up out of the guard play, then it's going to be difficult for us. So I think we should trade down and get a capable small forward, due to the fact that Kenyon Martin Jr. don't got a contract extension, and dude is rumblings, you know, at the beginning of the year that he wanted out, and he may still do that. He may still want out if he doesn't have a contract extension. So that small forward position is questionable right now for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think, the small forward, power forward position, either one of them, because we can. I think Jabari's fine playing either spot. I think he's fine playing either spot or even our center if we really want to, because I think Şengün is the same height as him. If I'm not wrong. I think they're both 6'10", 6'11", floating around there. I don't know. That's not necessarily tall, but it's working. I don't think any big man other than the elite big men have really gotten the best of our guys. You know, I mean, we even stopped Giannis, you know, Locksmith down low, stopping him. I think the only center that's really gone crazy against us, other than Nikola Jokic, has been Embiid, and I'm fine by that. It is what it is, because no one's stopping him in the league anyway. So you know, I'd say that we're pretty solid at that spot, like you said. However, if we do get the number 2, I got to go Scoot. I'm simply doing this, not that I don't like KPJ, because I really do. It's just an unfortunate situation where we just paid our guard, and we all do like KPJ to an extent.
Yep.
I'm obviously Jalen Green is my Rockets GOAT right now. That's everyone's got their own opinions about that, but that's just me.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to go Scoop because he's this generational talent. He's obviously not that Victor level, not yet
Yep.
anyway.
Yep.
But I mean, he has the potential to be that, and I would settle on potential for that versus trying to go for a forward for positioning, simply just because we can go get anybody else at that position, or we can just play Tari Eason. He's shooting
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
almost
Yeah. Yeah.
40%.
Yep.
He's shooting almost 40% from three. I'd rather
Yep.
just go get these guys in free agency or in a trade versus drafting another youngin who's potentially not ready, because Scoot looks NBA ready right now.
Yep. 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 I actually like Scoop Henderson, and my problem about the free agency situation, who's gonna want to come to be part of a rebuilding team? It ain't gonna be that many options out there. So
Mhm.
the free agency value, you could do that, but uh nobody wants to come play for a rebuilding team unless you're having improvements, unless you're seeing this team. We think we can help out this team. We think we can get this team back on the map. So let's go play for him. But I'll say I wouldn't be mad if we got Scoop. I wouldn't be mad at all. We got Scoop Henderson. I actually like him as well. So it'll be interesting to see who we in the draft and what's our positioning after the season and the things
Yeah,
that are really gonna be.
absolutely. I'm trying to see how much cap space we'll have going in. But I mean, I can imagine that we're going to have a solid amount regarding
Mm-hmm.
this because, I think Eric Gordon makes the most on our team, and that's, 20 million a year. Other than that, everyone makes single digits.
Yeah.
Besides KPJ starting next season, I believe. Um, yeah, I mean, he's still only making, he'll make 55, 56. So yeah, I don't see as to why we couldn't go get somebody big
Yep.
for this. Just sign them outright. Say this is just an example, of course, but say we want to get Kyrie Irving. Sign his ass for 35, 36 million dollars. But that's just one guy. I don't
Yep.
know I don't think the free agent class is going to be very good this year. I think the second best player other than James Harden is going to be like Miles Turner type.
Yep.
So we just got to really work down low and see what we can get. But
Yep.
I guess we'll come to that. Thank you guys for joining us today on this
Yep.
fine Christmas Eve. Happy holidays and enjoy your day. Dante, let
Man.
them know where you can find them.
Y'all can find me at Coach Dante on YouTube, Coach Dante 31 on IG, and Coach Dante 31 on Twitter.
And you can find me at drip_God at Twitter, and same with Instagram. You guys have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day, y'all.